Hi and hello, friends. It's me, your old pal Voltaire, and it's Friday night. It's time for the mic drop. It's hot, it's summer, and you're on the hottest show around. Before we get started, I want to talk to you about something. Think about the way you present yourself to the world, everybody. And I'm not just talking about your muscles or how you dress or your haircut, I'm talking about your mood. If you're down in the dumps, that's fine. It happens to all of us. But if you wear it on your face and you walk around gloomy, everybody gets like that. But over a few consecutive days, people keep coming up to you and saying, "What's wrong, man? What's going on?" You keep saying, "No, nothing, nothing." You got to look into it, And I always say, everybody gets down in the dumps. Everybody gets the blues, and that's normal. Level one is how's your diet and exercise. But if that's not working and you just can't get out of it, don't isolate. Don't isolate yourself. When people ask you, "Hey, is everything okay?" Don't just say, "Nah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it." Don't give short answers. That's almost attention-seeking behavior because you want help and you want these people to notice that you need help. Go ahead and look for help. Don't isolate. There's nothing wrong with it. And that's just the way you have to be as a man. Be strong, but recognize when you need help and strength from others. But everybody, we're here for fun. We're here for truth. We're here for the best content in the space. And most importantly, we're here for friendship. But please remember that the mic drop is a free-flowing conversation that oftentimes touches on mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Thank you. Wait, why isn't... Hold on a second. There it is. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the mic drop. This is going to be a hot one. I did invite RJ if he's available because I would love the Gunn perspective. Not that he's more nuanced than most Gunn fans, I would say, recently. For sure. I don't know about in the past, but he's doing pretty good with it. I am actually very disappointed. I am not happy at all. The Belle Reeve is here too. Awesome, Belle. I'd love to have you on in the future. I am not happy right now. First of all, I know this is the banter section.
Yeah, RJ's the banter section, the award-winning banter section.
RJ is here. All right, let me put this like this because
hello.
Okay. Hey, RJ. I will say I think you've been more nuanced as a Super Gunn fan lately, and I appreciate your efforts to be more objective. It's hard when you're a fan of
I lost a lot of followers.
You did?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, people do not like to hear things that go against what they are inclined to support or believe in.
I know
difficult to go against the grain.
No, I absolutely know. Listen, I got that from you too, bro, and I probably was guilty of it myself. No one's innocent in this fanboy stuff. I just am very disappointed that we're in a similar spot as the Hamadaverse now again. It's pretty.
Before you get into that, the RJ, what kind of things do you think? What kind of tweets do you think made you lose followers? I'm curious.
Nothing horrible. I didn't make any bad. More so, it's just you have to accept the reality of what you're seeing. You can't put your head in the sand, and that's that.
Yeah.
Supergirl's. Well, first off, Max, have you seen the movie?
Here's the other thing. I can't get any women to go with me.
Whoa, Max!
I can't get women to go see. My wife won't. My nieces aren't. They don't care. None of the women in my family,
I can give you,
or friends, care about Supergirl.
Ladies, reach out to Max on Twitter if you want. If you're in the Pennsylvania area and want to go see Supergirl.
No, they don't care. At least the women in my sphere.
Well, the marketing was very lackluster as well. It wasn't good marketing.
Well, I mean, it was complete BS that James Gunn did through shade at Feige, saying we're going to do things different. We're going to have a really good script locked in before me, because I haven't seen it myself, but the majority of the problems I'm hearing is
that was the tweet that lost.
Yes,
I said that comment kind of bit him in the ass a little bit.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of things that bit him in the ass.
Context. Which one, RJ?
I can absolutely have an opinion. You can have an opinion based on PR and social media. Of course, I'm going to go see it for myself.
It's got good
because
aspects
I
to it.
want to support the movie. I want to support the movie that I'm not looking forward to. I actually, let's be real. To be honest, I am not a Marvel or I don't do Marvel over DC or DC over Marvel. I love them equally. I am so much more excited for Doomsday, even though Robert Downey Jr. is back. I don't like that part, but I like everything else about Doomsday and Spider-Man. This I am going to see out of obligation and to give Supergirl a chance because Supergirl hasn't had her own movie for how many years? If it was just another Superman movie and it was this bad press, and I would probably wait. But because it's Supergirl, I'm going to support it. Because it's Millie Alcock, I'm going to support it, even though she is causing her own problems on the interview circuit. Not that she can't say what she wants, but you're attached to a huge IP. This is going to happen, and we are in the age of Karen consumers. Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know, Voltaire, have you seen it?
No, I was planning to see it this weekend.
So I want to clarify, because I guess I can talk about the movie first before we get into.
Did you see it?
I went to the fan screening on Wednesday, and I will tell you guys the story, which is why I knew this thing was in trouble. Okay. So it is probably one of the most frustrating movies I've ever watched because there is genuinely great stuff in there, but it is the definition of mid. It is it's a mid movie. And what I mean by that is that it's not good enough when the elements are there for it to be great. I think Millie Alcock is great in the movie. I think there's some genuinely great acting. The stuff on Krypton is very well done. I think that the what's the name of the actor? David Crummels? What's his name? The little elf guy from the Santa Claus. I don't remember his name. He was great as Zorro. I thought they did some really cool emotional stuff with that. But it's frustrating because you have great source material, which I don't know why they were pushing the Woman of Tomorrow comic as much as they were when it completely butchers that story in so many ways. It basically takes the bare minimum plot points of okay, we have similar characters and it's kind of the same plot, but it doesn't execute it very well. And I think it kind of undermines the comic to where I just had to ask, well, what was the point then? Why were you pushing the comic as much as you were?
To sell comics. Probably.
Well,
unfortunately, if you take the easiest responses, we have a comic out that's very good
but
comic.
It was already an older comic at that point. It wasn't a new one. It was already a couple years old.
He's right. Why didn't they? Why'd they even pimp the source?
They ended trailers being and buy the comic this is based off of, which I'm okay, that's cool.
But said something similar.
Well,
RJ.
the one thing I know for sure without seeing this movie that I could just tell is nail in the coffin is the villain looks lackluster in the trailers. I haven't read the comic.
Bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Yes, and he just looks like
it's
a gun versus Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's a phase 1, phase 2 Marvel villain.
Yes,
yeah, it's bad. He gives off henchman energy. He barely has any dialogue. Yeah, he barely has any dialogue.
That's not the. It's
what
not
dialogue he does have isn't compelling. The thing is too, it's frustrating because this could have been great, but it can only rise to be decent, and I don't know what happened. I can tell you this bold. I don't know if this is going to break soon. Somebody will probably tell the story. I know for a fact there's stuff removed from this movie.
Yeah, no, Grace said that.
They cut at least about 25 minutes out of this movie. I don't know what happened in the edit.
I am right again.
But
I'm going to call you out too, RJ. I'm right again because everyone's all the criticism I had, and everything's going to go James Gunn's way. Because it's James Gunn, it's going to be different. Do you think that was all in James Gunn that insisted on this, or the studio, or Warner Brothers, the typical Warner Brothers?
It doesn't matter. He's in charge, Max. It goes on him.
Well, he gets the blame.
No, I know it goes on him. He gets the blame, but it's the typical Warner Brothers scenario over and over and over again. This is a different Warner Brothers, Max. You know how many times I've been told that? They've been consistently.
There could be a movie making.
It's not. It's a reality of bad movie making.
Yeah.
No. I know there's going to be edits, yes, but the way that these films are neutered by the time they come out, whatever happens in the process at Warner Brothers, whatever the executives see in the screening, they're micromanaged to death. Things are taken out, so there could be a good movie in here on editing and everything. But ultimately, the script seems like it may be bad, and the villain is lackluster, which I could tell from the trailer.
The problem is that James Gunn did not oversee this project enough. I think he was too busy. I think he literally just jumped into his own Man of Tomorrow movie.
So
he paid close attention to this.
So to also call him out on BS about the script being really good in lock before you film.
I think
the other BS that he said was that this movie was because when other thing projects from the slate fell through,
well,
he said this one was one was so good that we had to do it right now.
Yeah,
we give her 3 projects. This writer,
I think that's going to change.
Exactly like the Muschietti thing. I said whenever they do this thing, it's a typical Hollywood. Kathy Kennedy's done it. This is so good. We've given this person so many projects, and then they all fall through.
I'm going to sound really sexist when I say this, and I apologize. But you know what the best part of the best part of the movie was?
What?
Superman and Lobo.
Oh, you're such a chud.
Well, I say that jokingly, but I will say, like, Millie Alcock, I think, is a great Supergirl. I feel so bad for her because the movie around her doesn't support her enough.
I don't feel bad for her. She had her chance. She made her decisions to speak her mind. It's not her fault, no. But she also didn't help this movie on the press tour.
She did not.
You could say whatever you want.
It's the press's fault, though. The press is the one who asks those questions.
Well, she has to be smarter.
Yeah, the antis to the chuds are just as guilty. Brian's been saying this for years. Is you're all part of a secular circle. You all make profit off this fandom wars, So of course, the sites that are very close to the studios and want the film to succeed want those sound bites where Millie is going off on toxic fans. They want those sound bites. They drag it out of them in this,
No, but you know what? That's the fault.
What I'm saying though is that the studio didn't. It is. The studio needs to protect their actors.
So no.
Especially when they're inexperienced when it comes to media training.
So the studio can only say so much, RJ, before the actor will say, "Oh, the studio tried to stifle me." This is the fault of her management and her publicist, which she 100% has both, not telling her, shut your pie hole.
What is this to do with the Snyderverse fans? Look, Snyderverse and Gunn fans are bad. You could say one's worse than the other. Snyder fans, they've done some crazy shit. Not me.
Yeah.
They just want to ruin your lives. They have nothing better to do. How is this the blame of Snyder at all or fans at all? If the movie was good, people would see it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained, but just to finish my point from earlier, there's great stuff in the movie. I think that this movie got completely chopped in the edit bay. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I guarantee
Warner Brothers.
We're gonna hear about something on Monday. They're gonna have to shift the blame to somebody. It's gonna go to
you know what, you're in a scenario now, and I told Voltaire this earlier. You are lucky as heck that James Gunn is already filming the majority of Man of Tomorrow. Because if you let this sit a little bit,
which I want to clarify, I do think Man of Tomorrow will be a good movie. I have faith.
I think it will be better than the last one. Yes, I think Superman was a decent movie. I do think it's going to be better.
I don't want to be in a position though where people think, oh, okay, if it's not James Gunn, it's not going to be good.
James Gunn is going to have an uphill battle, just like Zack Snyder did after BVS, because you got the Ellisons taking over Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
If Lanterns isn't also good, which I mean, I could still see Supergirl. Well, I was wrong.
I'm going to tell you something.
I don't think it's great either.
Do you want to scoop about Lanterns?
I don't think it's great stuff. I don't.
Well, Lanterns I think will be good, but it's going to be heavily divisive.
I don't think people are going to watch it.
Really? This is dumb. Why are they producing divisive stuff? But go ahead, RJ.
Well, the reason Voltaire is, have you ever watched Watchmen?
Yeah, of course.
The HBO series Watchmen.
I read
do you remember how Watchmen was pretty controversial in terms of just like the online discourse? It's going to be like that times 3.
Oh, so it's terrible.
The show is very political. It dives into conversations about racism,
which is interesting. But
yeah, which I think it's going to be
not
good.
For this format, it's not. I mean, look, racism, it's an important topic and all that kind of thing, but not for this format. It doesn't work. Okay. Watchmen, look, I love the Watchmen movie. I love the graphic novel. That show stank. It stunk.
I think also too, Lanterns is going to be a very prestigious HBO show. That's what they're positioning it as. Is an awards play.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to appeal to hardcore fans.
It sounds like Lanterns is like the Captain America Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where it deals with some racism about it. I mean, just from what you're saying, just like with the original Captain America, and they wouldn't give it to a black man, and now a black man's being the Lanterns, things like that. I don't know. Hal Jordan's there and older. Hal Jordan.
I just know that if you liked Watchmen from Damon Lindelof, you'll like this.
Yeah.
If you didn't like Watchmen, you're probably gonna hate this.
Well, I think people are gonna like the old Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern better because it's just simple pop. Yeah, it's Hal Jordan, typical popcorn thing.
So let me ask you guys a couple of questions about this James Gunn run. Do you think it was a mistake that the second movie is Supergirl and maybe Green Lantern should have been the second movie and maybe Supergirl should have been?
There's been a lot of mistakes made.
Because hang on, Supergirl's a derivative character of Superman. She's not going to do as well as Superman.
It had an uphill battle for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So wouldn't a Green Lantern film have been a better idea?
No, I think the pitch, like Lanterns as a concept for what they're doing with that show, it's going to dive into political topics, yes, but I think the concept of a Green Lantern prestige HBO show is actually a good move. I think the show is going to be a hit. I just think it's going to be divisive with comic book fans because it's not a very comic booky show.
Yeah,
it's not.
It doesn't necessarily fit the tone of Superman either,
which is fine because he said that they want each of the projects to feel different in tone and vision.
All right, so based on what you know, RJ, and we know that the Ellisons are taking over Warner Brothers in all likelihood. Do you think James Gunn is doomed because he's producing this kind of stuff? And for sure that writer who's supposed to write other movies after this one?
If I could go before RJ,
go ahead.
James Gunn will be lucky if he does one more movie in his Superman trilogy and kind of put a bow to what he was done here. That's what I'm hoping. I think that's the best case scenario, unless Man of Tomorrow really gets great box office.
Well, I think what could potentially be a hurdle, which I'm a little scared. By the way, just a side note about Supergirl, right? So, because I wanted to, I got kind of sidetracked. I wanted to finish this point real quick. It's not a bad movie. That's like the most frustrating part about it. Is that like there's genuinely great stuff in there. It's just that the stuff that's like there's stuff weighing it down from being a great movie. It's only a mid-tier decent movie when it could have been great. I don't think it's a complete dumpster fire like some people are claiming it is.
It's not like the Marvels or something like that.
This is better than the Marvels. I did not enjoy the Marvels.
I like the Marvels, so
I did not enjoy the Marvels. I did not. It's better than the Marvels. I'd say it's about on par. Well, I think it's better than Birds of Prey.
Is it better than the last Ant-Man movie?
I didn't hate the last Ant-Man movie, so I'm not the right person to ask about that. I think it was better.
The thing about the last Ant-Man movie, though, it had Kang in it, and it was supposed to be a big villain. This is what I consistently say. The biggest issue with these superhero movies is you really need a good villain. You can't, in comics, you could go with a B tier, C tier villain for some comic runs. For these big movies, unless you really plan ahead for low box office and low budget, you cannot do mediocre villains. I am so sick of mediocre villains. Even the first Guardians had a mediocre villain at the beginning, but the movie was so good.
Here's the thing: you could have a mediocre villain
if the movie's really good.
If the rest of the movie's strong without it,
yeah,
right,
yeah. Otherwise, you need a really good villain.
This movie's not strong enough to deal with a mediocre villain. Is the problem? Yeah. Again, great stuff in there, but I think it's just edited messily. I think that it's just the best way I can describe it is that it's a frustrating movie with a lot of missed opportunities.
My biggest takeaway from
why I know this movie was screwed though a little bit?
Why?
Because I went on Wednesday to the fan screening, maybe, guys, it was like maybe 20, 25 people, you know?
Really?
And it was the Wednesday. Like, this is like the big IMAX fan event screening. When you compare this to last year with Superman, when I went to the same theater, same kind of deal, it was an early screening for the fan event, pretty much almost sold out. This movie, maybe about 30 people. The energy
Wow.
leaving that theater was bad because
Low
for
energy.
one thing, they screwed up. For one thing, they screwed up. There's no post-credit scene. And
I thought
that
Grace
is
said there was a quasi post-credit scene.
the end of the movie is the post credit scene, and it's
Okay.
not. It's just the end of the movie. It's nothing like that.
It's just a preview for Man of Tomorrow.
It's not even that though. It's just a
Yeah,
wrap
Grace
up
said
of the
it's not.
character story. Like it's just like I mean, mild spoiler. She talks to somebody that you'd expect her to talk to, and she makes up with that person. Okay, good. Um, I don't understand how you don't, especially because you know that this character's showing up in Man of Tomorrow, and you have a layup. I don't understand why you don't throw the fans a bone and do something at the end, because there was people were deflated that there was no post credit scene. Like they're like, oh, he
This
waited, but it
stuff
was nothing.
matters. This is why I
Well,
constantly. I wish Joe was here too. Shout out to
right.
Crazy
And
Joe.
Joe will say
This
he
is,
loved it.
you know, Joe will say you don't need that stuff, and I say the general
It hurt.
audiences will loves Easter eggs
It
and
hurt the
and
it hurt the
connective
viewing
tissues.
experience a little bit. You were just
Yes,
like, oh, that was it.
So let
but
me
you,
ask
And
but
you,
Joe
I,
has
I
the fanboy nerd stuff like Gun Mind too, where you don't need that. It just needs to be good.
well,
But you're
here's my thing.
consistently rewarded with all
Yeah.
this connective stuff.
Well, just to finish my point real quick, is that you have such an easy layup to be like, okay, we know that Supergirl's here. She's gonna have a major role in Man of Tomorrow. We know that Brainiac is coming. How do you not have anything? And the movie has the perfect opportunity to set up that a Brainiac is coming. Like you have, it's right there. And I'm telling you, it would have gone a long way because there's nothing more important than
Well,
leaving your audience on a high note.
So do you
Rational
think
says there was a scene, but it was
it was
I
cut?
don't know. And when I walked out of the theater, the comparison to last year was palpable. Last year, people were on a high, people were really excited and happy. I kid you not, as soon as I left the theater, there was a group of three guys, which I know everyone's going to say, well, it was three guys. Well, whatever.
You chug.
guess
Um,
what? There are a lot of the majority of the ones buying tickets. Was there a lot
I-
of women there?
there was a good few. There
Girlfriend.
Good
was.
for you. Okay.
Couple of girlfriends.
But the three guys, I was listening on their conversation, and one of them said, well, that was awful. And I was just listening over. I was just listening over, and they were getting to this. I didn't hear the whole thing. I think one of them was trying to defend the movie, and the other guy's like, "There's no like." I literally heard the words. There was no excuse for this. They had great source material. What happened? I was
Yeah.
like, "Uh oh." And guys, this is the fan screening. This is like the one. Where
These
it's
are
like
people
the
that
who would
read
be
the
most-
comics.
and this would be like the one most excited for the movie.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
it was rough. And
So James
when I look
Gunn proven bullshit again when he said this movie wasn't planned, but the script was so good we had to do it. So that was BS. It was a budget project, just
Well,
like
no, I
Clayface.
believe he liked the script because he loves this
Ah.
writer. He gave her 3 other movies.
I don't think this. I don't think the movie that we saw is the script that he read. I think that they cut. I don't know what happened in the edit bay. I don't know what happened when they shot this thing.
Well, you think that somebody above James Gunn cut it, or James Gunn saw it and did
No,
it?
I think when they filmed this movie, it just was not working out, and I think that they just guys. This movie went through 3 different composers. Never a good sign. When you go through 3 different composers, that's a sign that there's trouble behind the scenes.
Yes.
So
So-
you think that there was a good script here at one point?
I think
I think that was BS. I think that was just like we had a budget project that I could do in between my movies.
I think
Let it greenlight it.
I think whenever they filmed this movie, something wasn't connecting. I don't know what wasn't connecting with the because sometimes that happens when like even
Yeah.
a great script
It's
on
like
paper,
getting a great movie is lightning in a bottle. I always say that's why it's you can have everything planned out well, which I don't think it was for this, and it could still fall through. Yes.
yeah, and that happens. That happens. I just don't know where the disconnect was. And it's not a bad movie. It's not. I want to reiterate. I'm not hating. I don't hate this movie.
You just wish
I
it was
just-
better.
It's
Well,
just
you said
disappointing.
RJ, it's mid. You literally said it's the
Yeah,
epitome
it's
of
fine. It's perfectly.
You know,
fine.
honestly, it may not even need to make. I've heard that there's all kind of interesting things they did behind the scenes to just maybe this is just to see how much they can make without actually producing a good movie, because
Well,
they have
here's
all
the
these
problem,
tie-ins with makeup things with Millie Alcock, all this tie-in with merch.
But they're not making money from that. That's media value. That's not
Okay.
bringing in revenue. That's media value. That's the
So,
big
RJ,
thing people don't understand.
Okay, let me
about
ask you a question. So, like, for example, I have normie friends. Like, I have a friend who's unhappily married, but they go out on date nights every weekend to try to help their marriage. And they go to the movies. They're going to see Supergirl this weekend. They don't know anything about the comics. They just know Supergirl is a derivative of Superman. Will they like the movie? Forget about comic book fans.
that. I think
Well,
I think
okay.
I think if you read the comic, this movie's worse. Honestly,
Yeah, that's what I'm
if
saying.
you
But
ha-
what about normies?
normies, I don't know, because I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the cinema score, but the cinema score is horrible for this movie.
Oh, is it? What is it?
It's a B minus. It is lower than the Flash, and it's lower than.
Would you rather
it's lower
watch
than
the
the
Flash or
Marvels.
Supergirl again?
Oh,
If you,
Supergirl, 100%.
you rather okay,
So
better
it
than
is
the
better
Flash.
yeah.
than the Flash.
Well, for him.
Yeah, for me, yeah, but I didn't
Okay.
love the Flash. I have
Was
issues
it-
with the Flash.
This is funny, Bell. I want to get to your comment. I kind of disagree with you, Bell. This is my issue with the DC. These are not the best versions of these iconic characters. Why is such a terrible version of Supergirl? Why does she have to be a semi-degenerate? I don't care if she's a semi-degenerate, as long as she's engaging you to watch the movie, and the movie's good and there's a good villain. She could be a semi-degenerate. Like, I know people want like the bright Supergirl, like super optimistic, but that's not always Supergirl either. I would be going. I think that's the easier route, to go the super optimistic, like super shiny, like they did with Superman. This is the most Boy Scout Superman we've had in a while, right? Why don't we have a Girl Scout Supergirl? I think her attitude's fine. The movie just has to fit it, and the story has to fit it. She's gone through some stuff, she's different than Superman,
So, RJ, I've seen some people say, including Grace, say that this director tried to do an imitation of a James Gunn movie. Would you agree with that? Do we lose RJ?
Oh,
RJ, are you there?
No, that question was too hot for him, Max.
No, I've said too. This was going to be the true test of the DC the James Gunn universe for me, because it's the first one not directed by James Gunn, but then it just feels like someone put it in James Gunn prompt and AI to make it look like a James Gunn film, and a mediocre one.
This is something. Again, I watched the Grace Dunn spoiler review, and that's kind of what she said, which I found interesting, because the trailers make it look like a James Gunn film, or a lot like a James Gunn film.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this, because this is not going to be directed by James Gunn, to see how this universe can be, and it feels just like a James Gunn template. RJ, you back with us? Maybe I brought the wrong one in. RJ.
hello?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Technical issues. It happens.
No problem.
Yeah, but just what I was trying to get to was just, again, yeah, I don't know what exactly happened with this. I think this movie got butchered in the edit bay, but I do think the movie, because the story of Woman of Tomorrow, like, it does explore like the fact that, like, Kara, like, and I think the movie does a good job of this, is that, yeah, you do get to see where her trauma comes from, and like why she is struggling right now. Like, the fact that she's getting drunk on these planets, like, it fits this version of the character, because you see what she experienced. Like, she doesn't understand like why her life is important, and like she like literally watches her family, her friends, she watches everybody slowly get poisoned to death. You know, it's very sad. Like, I think the Krypton stuff is handled really
You try
well.
to be happy and cheery when you see that.
Yeah, and I think it works. But again, this movie, for other elements, it doesn't have the time or the capability to dig deeper into some of this stuff. Because on paper, like, you could do some stuff with some of the things it presents, but it doesn't go dig deep enough. You know,
Okay.
it's just I don't know. Again, frustrating.
Okay,
I'm more.
cut off before I ask this question. So one of the criticisms has been that the director tried to make a James Gunn type movie in his image type of thing, but it's a poor imitation of that. Would you agree with that?
I mean, sadly, yeah. I'd have to say, yeah. Um, I mean, this movie has one of the worst needle drops I've ever seen in a major Hollywood blockbuster.
That's interesting.
The third act of this movie, like, it's fine, and they play a cover of a song, and I'm just like, oh, this is not fit. And I could tell it's like a late edition, like I don't know, like it kind of took me out of it. I never really experienced that before.
Wow.
And the thing is too, it's just like, okay, this is just maybe it's like it's gonna sound like a nitpick, but it's one of the things I'm talking about where it's like, okay, throughout the entire movie until the very end, Kara has no affinity for Earth. She doesn't care about Earth. That's not her home. She feels like an outsider. Then why the hell is she like the movie never establishes this, but like she has like a Walkman and listens to Earth music.
Oh,
And
really?
Yeah. And I'm
Like Star-Lord?
yeah, she has a trench coat too.
Yeah, but but my
I know, but I didn't
she
know
has
she
an
was.
iPod instead of a Walkman with a cassette.
But the thing is like, okay, she
They're
likes
just-
Earth. She likes Earth music. Okay, you could do something with that, or maybe it's like, but it's just like, no, it's just they don't really dive into like why she likes Earth music, you know. And
Wow. That is like. That's just like boiling James Gunn. It's just like when you talk about slow motion and lens flare with JJ, or that's like boiling his filming down to a template and just putting it on somewhere else. Like really a character that's disgruntled and listens on a Walkman and there's no even reason for it. It's just like, wow. When people were when the Snyder Bros were annoyingly saying this is just like Guardians of the Galaxy, and you wanted to say no, it's not. It's not.
But
It's
Guardians
not.
but Guardians of the Galaxy had like better locations.
No,
like,
I know that. I'm just saying,
like,
but
because if you read the comic and you see like these beautiful,
but it's more like Supergirl of the
beautiful
Galaxy.
locations and beautiful like planets. It's just like all of the planets that we see, all the locations feel the same.
But so yeah,
They
the Guardian.
like unless they put the title card up there and let you know where you were at. Literally, this movie could take place in the same planet. There's no visual distinction whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
Except for maybe like the last planet,
it's
because
drab,
they were in
right?
dry wasteland. But
Yeah, okay.
And then the Guardians, they didn't start out wanting to be Guardians of the Galaxy either. So they kind of end up in a similar thing. They reluctantly try to help other planets. Like she doesn't care about Earth, but okay.
Well, she's doing all this because she's there to save crypto.
Okay, are we over crypto?
No, the crypto stuff was still like,
okay.
It's
all right.
It's
not what they want. It's not Grogu.
But here's the thing too. I don't get, and like I hate having to agree with this, but I have to agree. It's just like, okay, like unless you watch the Superman movie, right? You don't care about crypto because like crypto is just like the movie opens up, he pees on a newspaper of Superman.
They go for the laughs, okay.
Which is fine. It was kind of funny. But like the movie, the way it's edited, you don't get the flashbacks about Kara meeting little puppy Crypto until like the middle of the movie after he's already been shot. And I'm just thinking to myself, if you had done more with this, like showing Kara like finding baby Crypto in the wreckage and then bonding with him and like her having that connection to him as like the last piece of her homeland, what happens to Crypto hits harder. So it's like, why do you not do that until the middle? It's just, again, strange editing choices. Just really strange placement of scenes. Again, I think this movie got butchered in the edit bay. I don't know what happened, but it's just, I don't know.
And you think James Gunn was too busy doing his other stuff?
I don't think he had his eye on the ball with this one as much as he probably should have, which is also a problem that Kevin Feige had for a while because he was.
Well, he's very critical of Feige, and I thought we were going to get a new era of director or a president of a universe, and it seems like he's falling short of Feige.
I just don't get it either because the director's not a bad director. I like Craig Gillespie.
I don't.
Well, it sounds like the script was no good.
I guess, but like on paper, nothing's wrong with this movie. Like, if like the story,
I mean, but the script with you really got to be objective here, RJ. There's nothing wrong with the script, but when James Gunn is promoting it, saying we weren't going to do Supergirl next, but it was just so good we had to, that may have been BS.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not a good look. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. I think this whole.
I haven't read the script myself. I haven't seen the movie yet. But for him to say, just like when he said Flash is one of the best superhero movies ever seen, one of the things James Gunn does is he is a thick layer of bullshit. PR bullshit.
Machine. He hypes, yeah.
And I'm sorry. I wish he was on the money. I wish Flash was one of the best If Flash was one of the best superhero movies ever, I could forget more about the Snyder stuff. But it wasn't. There was good stuff in there. And if Supergirl the script was so good that they had to do it, and it's not the alternative thing that other things from the slate fell through, and this was more ready to go, so he could go film Man of Tomorrow. That's kind of what I think. As one of the most fair Gunn critics, I think I am one of the most fair Gunn critics. I think he really wanted to do his next project, Man of Tomorrow. This is a smaller project. It fit in between his two movies, and it still leads to his movie. And I think it was an easy fit. I think it was more of an easy fit in a lower budget project that he could squeeze in when other parts of his slate were falling through, and then he could get on to his next movie.
I mean, they still spent $175 million on this movie.
Okay,
and the fact is too, it's like it doesn't really build. I mean, it doesn't need to build to anything, to be fair. But I don't know. It's just
they made a mistake. This second movie
I get concerned too. I get concerned too because I'm thinking about this, like your first 3 movies in this universe are all super family.
Well, what's he going to do? He has no Batman. Yeah, that's a mistake, RJ. I agree. He should have done a Green Lantern.
I don't think the Batman is his choice altogether.
No, he wants to make a Batman movie. He doesn't have it.
But he can't.
He can't. So that would be a loser. He should have made a Green Lantern movie.
I think there was a.
This should have been a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, I think there was. Well, he didn't want to follow the exact template that was before. You do a Wonder Woman movie, then adjust. But anyway, there was a short period of time where I think they were considering not doing the Matt Reeves Batman Part 2, and then the Penguin popped, correct, and there were delays to the script.
Correct.
And then there was also backlash to the Flash movie. I think Muschietti and the writer would have fallen off the Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Anyway, I really think that because he lately, from where he said the Slate announcement, Batman, the Brave and the Bold, he's really pumping up Batman. And then the last few months where he said, well, you don't want to cloud the bat sphere. That was not 100% his decision is the reason the Batman,
you're right, and you'd be naive to think otherwise. Because the Penguin popped, they gave Matt Reeves more time
to come back. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct, and that.
I think there was a scenario where they're like, "Oh, he's taking too long." Matt Reeves takes a long time without any issues. We don't want to bring all his personal stuff out. We don't know.
Whatever, he had some personal issues.
Yes, but without all that, he takes a long time on the Planet of the Apes movies and whatever. And then I think there was a period of time where like, well, the Batman was profitable, but it wasn't like The Dark Knight
or $1 billion movie.
Yeah. And is this, the second movie usually generally makes less unless you put the Joker in it. And the Joker in the Matt Reeves verse was not great. So
I mean, just
the actor is great, but the Joker
it's pretty demoralizing. Like, and I know people are gonna be like, "Well, cinema score doesn't matter."
I think it is. Yeah. It's a filler movie.
It kind of is. Yeah. I mean,
Well, it's
yeah.
okay to make filler movies if
It
they're
it keeps his universe going,
yeah. They have
but
to
it doesn't.
they just have to be better than average. So comic book fans don't have to love it, RJ. That's my point, and Max. The it has to get normies to say, well, they're pretty good. That was just
And the
remember
thing
there's
is
a
that
point where Marvel movies, people would just go see them and say, yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't awful. That's all you kind of need to keep that going.
And the problem is that normies completely rejected this. And that's the more
bad.
troubling.
I can't get anyone to go with me. I don't really want to go myself. I am just going out of support for James Gunn, DC, and Supergirl coming back to the theaters. That's the only reason, or I'd wait.
Yeah.
And I can't get anyone to go with me.
And consumers have shown, like, if we didn't learn anything from Mandalorian Grogu, like, it's okay. You know, it's mid. It didn't get people to the theater, though, did it?
I think The Mandalorian Grogu is going to end higher box office than Supergirl.
Yeah, well, Supergirl's going to get killed because of.
Well,
I think Toy Story is going to beat it this week, obviously.
Well, guys, you have to. I mean, again, people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but a B- cinema score is a disaster. That is awful for this kind of movie. For trying to get good word of mouth.
Here's the other issue,
guys,
RJ.
It's lower than The Flash. It's lower than Aquaman 2. It's lower than the Marvels. Like, this is bad. Like, this is straight up the audience telling, like, because the way cinema score works, they go to random theaters across the country. They ask normies, exiting through, they give them a little card, be like, okay, what did you think of this movie? Would you recommend to other people? A B- is them screaming to the world, we reject this movie. We don't like it.
Here's the other issue. And I am the most consistent movie pundit on here. I have said I want every director to get their true vision out there. I don't care who it is. If Rian Johnson had a director's cut of The Last Jedi, I would support that being released. I don't want studio interference. I know they're hired on an IP, but you hire an artist. With this, what's going on, I think over 50%, I say 75%, and I hope I'm wrong. They are going to F with Man of Tomorrow and James Gunn's vision, and it's going to be micromanaged to death, and there's going to be even more pressure on that movie when it comes out.
Simply because
why?
The CEO.
Oh my God!
Well, no, the reason isn't that until the merger closes, David Zaslav's not going to touch him. The movie will be done by the time the merger closes.
Not released?
It'll be released probably. I think with
before the closure?
Because the
RJ, I think RJ they want to get this thing. They want to get this merger approved before the midterm elections.
Yes.
At that point,
and I hope he gets zero interference. But everyone that says, "Oh, it's different now. This is a different Warner Brothers. This is different James Gunn," it's the exact same scenario over again. Exact same scenario. Mediocre return box office. Bad reception. And then the movie is being filmed right now.
The conversation could completely flip, though, because they still have two projects this year. They have Lanterns and they have Clayface. And Clayface did have...
Clayface it may be a hit, but I think it has zero impact on his DCU.
The best they can hope with Clayface is that it's like a
Clayface had some test screenings recently, and from what the people who attended have said, they said it's going to be a home run. It's going to be really good.
Is it horror enough, I wonder, to get the horror?
Even Cheeseman that says I'm a hater, it's the DCEU all over again. I think it's worse. Besides, if it's not directed by James Gunn himself, I think it's worse because I think a lot of this it's the James Gunn fans that are keeping this going. And I don't know if they're going to show up for this movie because it's not James Gunn. It's James Gunn-esque.
Yeah.
If James Gunn directed this movie, even with there would be a lot more going in.
Other thing to put in perspective, guys, because I got to keep it 100. Okay, whether you believe them or not, Warner Brothers is saying that they need this movie to hit 300 million.
They said that.
They said that. Whether you believe them or not, they said 300 million. It is not. It is not going to hit 300 million. There's a possibility, right? Because of the word of mouth and the way this opening weekend is looking, this movie may make less than Morbius.
Oh my God! RJ, that's a hot take on the mic drop. Wow.
What did he say? I couldn't hear.
He said that this movie will make less than Morbius. There's a chance.
I mean, I'm not happy right now. I want to be excited to go to the theater for a DC project. You know, the Man of Tomorrow stuff with Lex and the War.
Because the reason I say that, Voltaire, is internationally, like, okay, the worldwide opening weekend, this is worldwide, maybe less than 70 to 80 million. It is downhill from here. This is the highest peak it will get. And the word of mouth is so toxic around this thing, I'm not sure who's going to keep coming back.
Okay, so Connor, Dorian, Charlie Manx, 6,000 for $5. Thank you.
Thanks for the $5.
We really appreciate it. You're assuming that the merger will be approved this year and won't be delayed. Listen, I hope it's still. I don't know what I want to happen. I don't know if I'm going to support DC after the Ellisons, because I don't, especially when there's this much riding on mainstream media, and then the mainstream media going from left wing to right wing and being controlled by the right wing and the Republicans and MAGA. I don't know if I'm going to support that, because I don't like it. Because that's why. Do you think the Ellisons are buying Warner Brothers because of DC or because of?
It's everything.
It's about the news,
the media,
the media aspect in having their narratives.
Ellison loves movies. He loves blockbusters, and he wants a media empire. He wants a media empire.
But all this hope that I get from, and I appreciate you being a paying customer, but I'm still the most honest movie pundit out here. This nerd logic about thinking things are going to fall through. It's possible. It's also possible the Snyderverse returns. There's most of people, when something happens to a big corporation or IP or mergers and they don't want it to happen, it's really just cope, because they usually always go through. How many have actually been stopped? Voltaire, RJ, how many have actually been stopped? All the talk about this isn't good for the industry. We need to, all the lefties in Hollywood that signed a letter rejecting, they're not paying any. They're not. The only thing that would stop it is if they came together and pulled their funds together and bought it themselves, not a letter condemning the Ellisons.
So
sorry.
Let me comment on that real quick. You're right, Max. The fact that the Fox buyout went through is an example of that. But more importantly, Connor, for this particular merger, the Ellison bid was not better than the Netflix bid, and the Netflix bid was done. The deal was done. And the Ellisons put a kibosh on it. How did they do that? Because they have power, beyond what we know about, okay? And influence beyond what we know about. So the fact that they killed the Netflix deal, they killed it when it was done. And the shareholders all agreed it was the best deal.
Well, Ellison also wouldn't shut up. He was very much a crybaby about the whole thing being about.
Well, it worked.
He had the influence to make that happen. Is my point. Zaslav was pimping the Netflix deal. They wanted it.
Ellison also decided to go get Saudi money to be able to outbid Netflix. To the point Netflix like, it's not worth this much.
It still worked. Money's money.
I looked at the difference. It should not have done. There are bigger powers at play here. Okay, the Ellisons want a media empire. They include CBS and everything else. This is something else. They are going to get this passed. And it's going to have to be done before the midterm elections. Or maybe not, right? Maybe I'm being naive.
I just don't know, though, because these states are suing to block the deal. So you have California, New York, a bunch of other states are going to be pushing lawsuits out to block it. So
it's still going to
get dismissed quickly. I don't know.
They killed the Netflix deal.
I really do think it's just cope, that it's holding out hope that it's not going to go through. Yeah. Yeah. When there's money to be made in IP to be scooped up, nothing that actually helps people or workers.
Whether you want to believe this or not, they interviewed people, the executives. I forget who it was, but they interviewed somebody on the red carpet of Supergirl and in other places, and they talked about how David Ellison flew on a private jet to personally meet with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and he approves of what they're doing. So
no, he doesn't.
He's like, just keep doing it. So
that's
apparently,
I don't believe that they prove it, RJ. I just based on who they are. Anyway, on a side note, everybody, not financial advice. Netflix is at a very low level. The stock is undervalued. Not financial advice, but Daddy is buying some Netflix stock. Oh, that's all I'm going to say.
Well,
There's still good news, though, by the way. I mean,
not DC.
there is some good DC news.
What about animated anime Batman?
Yeah, we're getting an absolute Batman.
How's that?
Series?
That's cool. That's a niche project.
Although James Gunn also shot himself in the foot a little bit with the animation stuff. Because
where's the video games?
Well, there's that, but also he did promise 3 years ago that he was working on a Wonder Woman animated series, and there's been nothing. Like, not even a peep about something in development, just nothing. Which, again...
He's a bullshitter. There's people in to succeed. He's kind of like Trump. We're going to have when he announced that slate, it sounded so good. A 10-year plan. We're going to do this. We're going to do Batman. We're going to do Wonder Woman. And he got the job. And sometimes those people get the job.
Advocate, though, the slate that he announced was literally like, Zaza was like, you have to announce something for the shareholders. Which is why it was kind of cobbled together. It wasn't complete.
That's the excuse Kathy Kennedy and Kevin Feige did for Phase 2. That's nonsense.
But that's what
the slate was bullshit. The slate was bullshit.
But Voltaire.
So he actually said,
Kennedy, hold on. When Kathy Kennedy announced stuff like the Lando show, the Droids show, that was a shareholders meeting. You guys forget that. It was a shareholders video call.
So it's a lie.
That stuff is for the shareholders.
Yeah, it's lies.
You have to announce stuff to get them to think that there's
bullshit
investment in those.
So they're lying. They're liars. It doesn't change that.
I mean, it's more so stretching.
It could happen.
It's more so stretching the
truth, which is a lie.
Well, no, it's more like stretching. Like you're developing something doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know,
lots of stuff doesn't even get a script or an outline. It's bullshit. It's Hollywood. That's how Hollywood. My biggest issues with Hollywood is they never finish what they started. They're too reactionary, and they don't have enough evergreen projects. Can you imagine a streaming service that every show has an ending? That's the first thing. If I ever took over any streamer, I'd say, if the show's not doing good, we're still going to do a final season, because you need evergreen products on here. People lose confidence in your abilities to tell stories. They move on. You keep rebooting. You keep being reactionary.
That's why I don't think David Ellison is going to abandon this either, because there's no sense in it, because you can't reboot again.
No, this is the other thing. Listen, people don't give me respect. I covered the toy industry. I've seen Toys R Us go out of business. When profits stop sliding, you take away value from the projects. You make them cheaper,
but also too
the quality slides. And then the next thing is, when it fails, you just put it on ice for years. So
DC's too valuable to do that, though.
No, the Batman's too valuable to do that. DC is not. DC has been on ice before.
Is DC though.
Batman is
Batman.
Batman is its own power IP, though. I think is Max's point, RJ.
The best case scenario is maybe
DC universe.
Maybe Man of Tomorrow is so good that Superman becomes a bigger IP again, and that continues. But I think what you're seeing is not the James Gunn DC universe, the James Gunn Superman universe, if he's lucky, and maybe Superman will continue on. I don't know. Corn Sweat might even continue without Gunn after a third movie. Maybe James Gunn's just like he's doing Guardians. They make a fourth Guardians.
Here's the thing. Two things. Number one, I don't think it's fair to scrap this universe after one movie. I don't think that's fair.
It's Warner Brothers.
I don't think it was. Listen,
by the time you'll be two movies and two side projects.
You can go back and verify this. When they were retooling the Flash to add Ben Affleck back in, not the Flash. Sorry, when they were retooling Aquaman 2 to add Ben Affleck back in, when they were retooling to add the Flash to add Henry Cavill, and they're gonna try and continue it under a new creative leadership, which is why we were getting the Batgirl movie, and they were teased. They had that Flash post-credit scene that got cut. I was like, okay, I was open to them continuing that universe, but they decided to pull the plug, right or wrong. I think that they should have at least given a better conclusion, for sure. I'm fine with them. Like, I think overall, you have to continue or finish things, right?
But you're
But
talking
as
about
a fan,
Hollywood. Well,
what-
they
what I'm
didn't
trying-
finish
what
the
I'm trying
last
to-
few phases. Why are they going to finish this one? Just because it's James Gunn, they're going to finish it?
No, what I'm saying is that like I don't think that they should abandon this cast or these.
I don't
like,
think they should abandon the last few either.
But you can't.
I hope
reboot,
it's different. Yeah,
Here's
you
the thing.
don't need to reboot. You just let it die.
But you can't do that either.
Yeah, you can. Let it on ice for 5 years and then try it again.
You can't do that though.
It's interesting
Or-
because RJ makes a
There-
good point. The
too
casting has
much
not been a
money.
problem. So far, the casting has been very good.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what happens when Disney flubs up an IP? They just keep going until eventually.
Is that what
it
happened to
works out.
Star Wars?
Yeah, they're just gonna keep going until something
No.
clicks.
Oh god,
They did TV
that
shows
was
for a
not
while.
that's not a success. RJ.
No, Star Wars didn't make a movie for how many years? I think we are in the DC era of how bad Disney Star Wars was.
But they don't have any
No.
other.
No, Max. No.
After Rise of Skywalker, they still got $1 billion for that movie, Voltaire.
That's because that's a super IP. There's
Yeah,
no-
but then they went on under. I think if Man of Tomorrow does not succeed, the
Which I think
Allisons
it
will take over. I think it will be really good, and maybe they do introduce Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a star again. Maybe Wonder Woman will get people back. I don't know. I hope so. But if it doesn't, if it fails, I just think you're going to be DC. Besides Batman's going to be on ice for 5 years.
But also too, they put so
or
many things.
TV only. Reboot an Arrowverse type of DC.
But also too, I think what might save their butts a little bit. Although it depends, we don't know what kind of CEO David Ellison is. He could be just as ruthless as Zaslav was when he took over. They have greenlit so many projects, and so many projects will be in production by the time Ellison gets in the door. They may have no choice but to inherit them and keep it going anyway to see what clicks and what doesn't. I don't know.
How many projects they have? Man of Tomorrow's filming already. What
the
other
studio-
DC projects? It's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, most likely. Paradise Lost is getting really further along than people realize. The Jimmy Olsen crime show with Gorilla Grodd, that's going to be entering production soon.
Oh, thank God for the Jimmy Olsen Gorilla Grodd show. I would watch it, but it's the tip. It's the like, who asked for this?
Booster Gold will be entering production soon.
Really? Is that still going forward?
Yeah, they already have a showrunner.
And is it with Kamal?
I don't know. Last I heard it was Kamal, but they might change it. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Are you going to become a Marvel maniac again?
No, because I think Marvel's in trouble too.
I know. I got more
I-
excitement about Spider-Man and Doomsday than this. I'm
I
sorry.
think Doomsday's gonna flop.
Come on, RJ. It's $1 billion film.
I think it's gonna be the worst performing Marvel movie in history.
What? Worse than the Marvels?
Yep.
Oh, RJ, you're bananas. Everybody clip this.
Not with the amount of fan
I
service in
think-
there.
There's
I
too much
think
star
that-
power, RJ. There's too much star power.
I think that the Doomsday will make less money than Morbius.
No,
RJ, are you being?
he's joking. He's joking. He's
Yeah,
I am
he's
joking. I am joking.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you
Yeah.
really had me going for a second.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, God.
but no, this might be a hot take though. I think Spider-Man will do better than Doomsday.
That is
Maybe.
a hot take. That is a hot take.
Could be wrong, but I think Spider-Man
Can we-
is poised to do better than Doomsday a little bit.
All right. So I was thinking maybe we should look at this bullshit slate one more time.
Bullshit Slate.
It's bullshit now. We
Well,
know for sure it's bullshit.
If you're gonna do that, watch the neurotic hypercut.
Yeah, he did a good job actually.
Oh, okay. We get that queued up. I don't know which video. All right. Hold on. Let me see.
The next project up is Waller. This is a story
Come
of
on!
Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis.
It's not happening.
Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen.
This is you know how much everyone hated me when I said most of the stuff's not going to happen? Do you know how much hate I got for that?
I think the Waller show is still happening, but I think
no. I mean, it's possible, but
though, like I said, you guys got to put in the context. They rushed this Slate announcement to appease the shareholders. There's some nuance to this, whether you agree with them.
They always do that. It's not like it happens every time, RJ.
I think Gunn really wanted these all done in this way.
Gunn, I think, even went out. I don't have the official quote here, but Gunn even said, "Yeah, I kind of took the job so I could keep working with my friends." Because they were all under contract for Peacemaker season 2, Creature Commandos.
I think that was a joke.
Well, that's why.
I don't think there's some truth in humor. Yeah, he was intention was a joke, but it's not wrong either.
That's why they kept Peacemaker season 2 a thing, is because they already paid them, and also too they didn't want to buy out their contracts.
Yeah. All right, let's keep watching this here. So that's gone.
And Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story that's out of this world, and I can't wait for people to see it. Okay, next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025.
Okay, he did it.
The next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show.
All right, now the beginning is not as bad as I thought. Okay. I will be real. I was like, oh, this is going to be horrible. All kind of cancer products. It's not as bad as I thought. Rewatching it now. Let's see what else here.
Which is almost like True Detective with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters. We are now bringing into the DCU, and we'll interact with all of our primary.
About that though, he literally was like, "Yeah, the script isn't good, and it's not coming together, so it's on the back burner." I mean, he was pretty open about that. It's like, yeah, this one.
He said this is a big. He says a big project though, and it's weird how like just one character was in Superman.
Well, he said it was a passion project. He likes the characters.
Yeah, all right.
I don't have a problem with that. If he doesn't like the script, then he shouldn't do it.
Well, he liked Supergirl script. Is the weird
thing. There you go.
DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost.
Now you're saying there's actually progress on this.
I doubt it. It's much further along than you think. They already have showrunners and scripts. This will be filming. I guarantee you can put money on it. This show will be filming next year.
Okay.
Really? The show will be.
So Wonder Woman.
Hey, is that going to include who they cast for Wonder Woman, or is this like a prequel?
I think so. I think it's still a prequel.
That might be a change.
But that's a good streaming show concept. It really is a good streaming show.
Well, the pitch literally was Game of Thrones, but with Wonder Woman. So
I love it with the Amazon.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah. So you can put money.
So Wonder Woman could save his ass.
Out there, this show got This show got fast tracked. So.
Well, it's not fast tracked if it's still in development. This was supposed to be worked on already.
Oh boy.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, it took a while, but they have their.
I think they've
got their scripts.
They'd be filming now if it was fast tracked, right, RJ?
I think.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it's
whatever's happening with Batman, they're putting the focus on Wonder Woman now because Wonder Woman was the other movie that almost made $1 billion besides Aquaman.
So RJ, do you think they start filming this before the end of the year?
I think they start filming next year.
So is Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman's definitely in Man of Tomorrow.
I believe she is, but nobody knows for sure.
I think that's going to potentially save his skin.
This is my hot.
And is it Gal Gadot?
No, get out of here, Joe.
No,
crazy Joe.
No. This is I don't know this for a fact. This is just my prediction. I would also suspect that his Batman will be in Man of Tomorrow.
Oh, forget it, RJ.
I don't think so. I mean, I would be happy. I would love that, but I don't think so.
But hang on.
If he could actually make that happen, that would be amazing.
When is Batman 2 scheduled to release?
October something 2027.
And so you think they're
So
going to
next
put a
year.
different Batman when this second Batman after a successful movie that people are
Let me clarify. I think his Bruce Wayne will be in Man of Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! Well,
we do have
maybe the Bruce Wayne.
We do have a super chat from Rational Skeptic, and I'm gonna mic drop everyone on this one. Max is just being harsh on this new universe because he's still butthurt the DCEU Snyderverse is gone.
Oh,
I don't care anymore. I'm more excited that the Zack Snyder Renaissance is back with him working on P with Escape from New York remake than him coming back to DC. I am more excited about that. I want to see what he's going to do with a remake in an existing IP and an adaptation than his own original stuff, because I enjoy his original stuff. I think his bread and butter, because I am more objective than I get credit for Zack Snyder, he does better on adaptations of existing IP. So I think that he would do great on Escape from New York remake. I can't wait to see who he gets as Snake Plissken. And then also, I just finished the Punisher short, which was decent. I'm like, man, Zack Snyder would do amazing with the Punisher. That's the type of superhero film I'd like to see him get his hands on. I actually prefer him to do the Punisher than come back to DC. So I am not butthurt at all. My butt is fine.
Is it?
Yes, I do not care about this
Don't
argument
worry, lady.
because you're going to have restore the Gunverse, release the Gunn cut. If they micromanage his shit, it's the exact same thing over and over that happened at Warner Brothers before Zack Snyder, and no one listened to me. They just called me a Snyder bro. And I always said I respect artists and directors so much. I know they're working on an IP that doesn't belong to them, but let them be artists and let them get out their true vision. So I do not understand why you would, in a scenario, root for the record company over an artist. And I know it's different because musicians own what they're working on completely. But why would you root for the record company over the artist? Like, why would you root for these companies butchering these directors' projects, taking over the projects? I don't want that to happen to James Gunn too, but I think it could. I think they could interfere with Man of Tomorrow, and I hope it doesn't happen. And then if they do interfere with it, I will say release the Gunn cut. And then I really can't get any restore in any universe anymore, but there would have been a time I would have been restore the Gunverse too. But I hope we don't get to see all this, but it's history repeating itself over and over and over again. But no, I am not butthurt. I want Zack Snyder to do other stuff.
Max, don't play this video. Play the one in the private chat that RJ sent you.
Okay.
It does the same thing, but it's superior.
All right. Yeah, I will be real nerdrotic. He has a great editor. He has a great editor.
Yeah, no. You might not agree with his thoughts, but his produced videos are quite good.
Yeah, and then the way he handled Angry Joe this week.
I think we can talk about that afterward, but I think the Angry Joe thing is people are being too mean to Angry Joe.
Why?
He was going after people pretty hard, RJ.
You know, Angry Joe was it's not Jody's Corner. Look, Jody, I'm showing my face, and I actually apologize to Jody's Corner. I went too hard on him, but it was actually Angry Joe that had the biggest take on BVS that went viral. That's really that influenced a lot of people. His review of BVS.
The thing is that these guys have been ridiculously like they are trying so hard to turn Millie Alcock.
But this is what happens. This is what happens when any IP is
low, and they've been low.
This is what happens when IPs. This is just like when I used to cover toys, dolls, action figures, and the companies would slide on the quality. there's a group of the fans that just gather together, and they are just so beholden to these companies, and they say, we just should be happy with what we get if we get anything at all. It's very hard for these corporations to make any product, and they accept lower quality products. And that is where Angry Joe is at. He's like begging people to see Supergirl for him when he is not convinced. I don't think he probably gave it a good review either.
No, he gave it a bad review. They were making
So before the Angry Joe that got monetization and was riling against mediocre movies is gone, and now he is a coping butthurt fanboy that is begging people to go see it because we should be happy we get anything from these, bow to the feet of these corporations and executives that make so much money.
Yeah, but
no, that's bullshit.
His credit, he shit on the movie.
No. I don't think it's fair though, because the whole reason Joe was even going at them at all was because of the way that they, again, just vilifying Millie Alcock for really no.
You knew this was going to happen. Listen, I know she's a young woman, but people that want to work in Hollywood, they really need, if they want to work on big IP projects, they should know this is going to happen. Like she just, and yes, it's the antis to the antis, just like Brian was probably the most consistent on here for years. If you constantly go after the chuds and the anti-SJWs, you are just sucking at the same teat and in the same cycle of money and bullshit. And all these people that try to frame questions to get these actors and actresses to say these things that are going to trigger the chuds, and they're part of the problem too. And that's where they get their biggest clicks on those articles. They say they hate the people that get triggered, the Karens that get triggered by these comments, but they're the ones drawing these answers out of these actors and actresses. 100%.
Yeah, but they're idiots, and their publicists should
but
know that.
I know they should know this, and they should know the trap that they are being they're fodder in these fandom wars that profiteers online, they get sound bites so their articles could pop. And these are the same people that that they just all day on Twitter, oh, these stupid Snyder Bro anti-SJWs, they are just contributing to the cycle of bullshit, and they're war profiteering off of it. I knew 100. I could see this happening 1,000 miles away. Of when Millie Alcock was like, it's not going to trigger me. It's not going to prevent me to see the movie, but it's going to prevent other Karens, because we are in the age of social media and Karen customers, and they are so fragile. I work at customer service.
But she did say that 40-year-old dad comments. You know what I mean?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yes, but there are 40-year-old dads that get triggered by that.
That's who's bringing their kids to the movies.
I know. Who cares what? I don't care what she said. Other people care. Consumers care, and it's stupid. I really get sick. I can't stand.
So here's the thing. Okay. She's allowed to say whatever she wants. Okay? She's allowed to say whatever she wants. Is it smart? She's trying to lead an IP with multiple films.
Okay, but like, what exactly did she say that was so bad is what I don't get.
You don't play dumb, RJ. It's not bad. It's just you know how certain people are going to react to it.
Let's watch the Grace video. Grace breaks it down really well.
Well, I'm going to give Belle Reeve a good clip out. Thank you for the support, Belle. I really appreciate this. Why does your chat keep mentioning the Snyderverse when we could be talking about DCU? $4.99. I really appreciate the support. We want to have you on, Belle, because there's a certain group within the Gunn nuts that are coping with what's happening here with Supergirl and James Gunn's vision, and they were looking for someone to blame. So there is nothing here about what Snyder Bros have done that have contributed to the failures of Supergirl right now. And hopefully we're wrong, and it's better than expected. It's good word of mouth. The second week of box office goes, and it makes $300 million. I really hope that, because I'd love to see a Supergirl too. But the way it's going, I really doubt we're ever going to see Supergirl 2. We'll probably get Wonder Woman reboot. But people are coping now and trying to you try to blame. This happens all the time when people are such fans of IP and corporations and they do not actually look at the quality. It's not because it's woke that it's failing. It's because the script doesn't look that great. The villain looks lackluster and it looks choppy and it was probably interfered with. And yes, unfortunately, because if you have a mid movie, you better have a really good movie if you're going to make comments on the press tour. You better have a banger of a movie. If the movie was that good, it wouldn't matter what Millie Alcock said. But if you're talking about a mediocre movie, a mid movie, you know. Any response to what I'm saying there? Any follow up, Voltaire, RJ?
I agree with you, and I think everybody has to remember Millie Alcock is a hot chick. She's been a hot chick for a very long time. I know she's never had anybody say anything to her contradicting what she says. Hot chicks get catered to on a different level than we understand. Like, I knew a hot chick, and she would go to the store and someone would give her a free ice cream. And I'd say, "Do you know why they gave you that free ice cream, right?" You're just being nice to me. No, because you're a hot chick. You get free ice cream. So she does it. She opens her yap and doesn't know any better. Now, her publicists, her agents should have told her something. Or even the studio, like RJ suggested. But she's not going to listen unless somebody, walks her through it. And nobody did.
Yeah. This is exactly, I said, I hope James Gunn's DC is so good that the question never even comes up that the Snyderverse should be restored or a different version should be restored. Does anyone remember me saying that? And I was like, no, we just have more okay DC. It's not great. Even Superman, I liked it more on the second viewing because I try to like things more. So the second viewing, I focused on the Justice Gang and what's that character's name? The new character,
Mr. Whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I focused on stuff like that, and I had more fun. It's
a fine movie. There's nothing wrong with that movie. It's a good movie.
That's why I'm saying, I'm still invested in this. Like I said, I didn't hate Supergirl. I think this is definitely the reception in the box office is definitely a blow. I think it's a fumble. I think it's a it's not great, but I don't think it's gonna go. The horse is completely off the.
No, he's got another movie in the can. That movie's coming out. That movie could look if whatever it is, whatever it's called, that next movie, that Man of Tomorrow, whatever it is, if that hits, everything is forgotten. All faults are forgotten.
Well, again, we're acting like this is the only movie coming out this year. We still have a Clayface movie.
Yeah, I just feel like that's going to be a small movie, and it's not expected to have a big budget.
Listen. A win is a win, regardless of size.
Right.
If Lanterns is good, if Clayface is good, that changes the conversation.
Well, what you're told me tells me Lanterns is not going to be good.
I think Lanterns will be good. I just think it's going to be divisive.
Okay.
We'll see, though. We'll see. I could be totally wrong. We'll see.
Is divisive the time? Is that the right kind of project to release at the beginning of a new universe?
Those are questions. I don't know. Also, real quick too, they could change this conversation could be mute if they show up to San Diego Comic-Con next month.
Moot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they
that's
show
interesting.
Up,
they should show up to San Diego Comic-Con. They really should.
If they show up.
I think they should have done it last year.
Yeah, I agree with that, Max.
Well, they did. They just wanted to push Peacemaker.
Well, I think that was the mistake.
Yeah.
They should have pushed Superman hard at Comic-Con. They should have come out, announced the next project.
They should have had Corn Sweat there. They should have had Millie Alcock there.
It might have helped the box office a little bit more.
Yeah.
All right, so let's watch a little bit of this.
I'm the co-CEO of James Gunn Studios. So Peter and I.
What?
Hey, everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of James Gunn.
Yes, it is James Gunn.
I see.
Yeah, it's not DC. It's James Gunn's. That's what. Listen. You could say that about the Snyderverse too. Okay, it's the Snyderverse Studios or whatever. I don't know, but it does feel
Yeah,
like
about
James
Feige
Gunn.
too. You can say
Even though,
Feige Studios.
well, I say less so for that one, but it really feels like James Gunn Studios. And honestly, I'm getting to the point, RJ. Maybe you might agree with me on this. After he does 3 Superman movies, I kind of want James Gunn to do something besides Superman movies or 3 Superman movies. I mean. I kind of want him to go back to horror or do something else because I think he's got other greatness in him. I think the aesthetic, the vibe he goes, the template that he does with movies, his niche would go really good in the horror genre again. He did Slither or something before.
Actually, his 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies were all excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so he knows how to make superhero movies. The man is talented.
No, I know he knows, but I honestly I think he'd be done after he does a 3rd DC movie anyway. I really the slate was to get the job and to appease shareholders, like RJ was saying for me, but I really think he's only got so many DC movies in him anyway. RJ, what's your thoughts? What do you want as just a James Gunn fan, not a DC fan in the future? I kind of want him to move on from superhero movies. 3 Guardians movies, 3 Superman movies.
Ultimately, he should do whatever he finds most creatively fulfilling. You know,
Safe answer. Give us your opinion. What do you want him to do? Another Superman movie or another superhero movie after Superman 3, or would you prefer if you had to pick one, Superman 4 or a different DC superhero movie? Or something completely different from James Gunn.
I think if he does a trilogy, then move on to a different character.
Yeah,
for sure. I still think there's a possibility he ends up back at Marvel. We'll see. You laugh at that, but I
mean, it's possible.
Look, him taking this job without having the most powerful IP that DCU has, I feel bad for him. He's almost destined to fail. Because he doesn't have Batman. It's not his. And if it does well, it's going to be because somebody else did it. Like, he's in a bad situation right now. I mean, I say bad. The guy is set for life. He's going to have a great life.
Well, that's the other interesting. I would love to get a deep dive in this. I think Matt Reeves has creative ownership of Batman now.
I think 100%.
I don't know what his contract was or what he negotiated with Warner Brothers that carried over to this regime and possibly the next one. But there's something in his contract or something's going on where, like, I think his production company has to be involved in all things Batman going forward.
I think after the hit of Penguin, they begged him to come back and said, put in the contract.
But no. This was before Penguin, because if you remember, they were announcing Batman projects like Caped Crusader and the animated dynamic duo movie.
That wasn't a game changer like Penguin, though. Game changer was like Penguin. Like, we can have like a Tony Sopranos level.
You're
spin-off project.
You're misunderstanding. What I'm saying is that before Penguin even came out, they were making announcements about stuff that was Batman related that he's involved in.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering is that what is in his contract to where he has such ownership of this character in film and TV.
I think you're right, RJ. They started talking about stuff before, but I think after Penguin hit, they might have made some modifications and said you can take as long as you want and do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, James Gunn's talking points change where we can't cloud the bat sphere. That's what he said.
Right. He doesn't have Batman. He doesn't have Joker, the 2 most valuable IPs for the DCU.
Can you imagine? Maybe he was originally going to have his version of Lex with the armor on with Joker.
Yeah.
You know.
So on the flip side, Feige didn't have Spider-Man, right? Feige didn't have Hulk, really. Well, he got Hulk. But you know what I mean? These Fantastic Four, these other properties, and he had to make do with, what he had. So,
Well, he does have Batman. I just don't think he wants a Batman going on at the same time.
Yeah. That's a failure.
So Rational Skeptic gave me a super chat here that I would love to address. This is actually going to be a great clip out. You're actually really helping me, Rational, so I appreciate the support. $5. Watch. Clayface and Mantamar are going to be a success, and Max is still going to be the usual tap dance, how it's not looking good for DCU. Clayface, I think, is irrelevant. to James Gunn's plans because it's like a one-off. I don't see how Clayface is going to enter this version of Clayface is going to interact with this version of Superman.
Well, it's about building the brand. It's about building goodwill.
So I think it's like a one-off success, a horror type project. So I think James Gunn wants his own Penguin show, like the success of the Penguin, success for Clayface. Man of Tomorrow, if it pops, if it has Wonder Woman, it has some other character in there that really builds towards the future. Yeah, I think that could save things, especially Wonder Woman. If you can't use Batman, if it has Wonder Woman and Batman, forget about it. We're back in track. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's looking good for DCU right now. A great movie that's already filming could really fix that. I think that the next Superman movie is going to be better than the last one.
I think it's poised to be.
Lex and Brainiac being a villain is cool. Brainiac being a villain puts it in a higher category with Lex in the armor, and Brainiac puts it in a higher category than Lex without the armor and a clone of Superman called Ultraman or what he was. And those weird characters in the whatever zone. I forget what it was called. So that ultimately, what do I always go to for superhero movies? If I know something's going to be good, it's got to go great villain. Like, oh, they're finally doing Brainiac? We haven't had Brainiac in a Superman movie yet. We've had it in the TV shows and stuff, We haven't had that. So, yes, that is intriguing and has very cool potential, especially if they finally just call them the Justice League instead of the Justice Gang. Maybe it would be Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Justice League. I don't know, but I am not doing a tap dance at how it's looking very bad right now. It looks very similar to previous versions of DC, but if he creates a great movie, forget about it, right? Maybe Supergirl suffered for Man of Tomorrow.
I do
really
think
thrive.
I do think the situation does put more pressure on Man of Tomorrow.
Oh yes,
which is
absolutely.
a shame. I don't think it's fair, but it's what they're going to deal with.
But Max is right. All sins could be forgotten if Man of Tomorrow is great.
If Man of Tomorrow is great, forget about it. If Brainiac is a really well received villain, and
like I said, the conversation can shift immediately if the next two projects are good. If Lanterns is good,
no, it has to be better
good.
than the first Superman.
If Lanterns is divisive, it's not going to be good. Like it needs to be like universally loved.
Man of Tomorrow has to be better than Superman.
Yeah, for sure.
For this to keep going. But ultimately, even if it does keep going, I think he's got one more Superman movie or Justice League, and then I think he's going to get tired of it.
Hey, come on, Max. He's running a studio. That's probably his dream job. He took that job for a reason.
All right. Well, let's see a little bit more.
I do have a question to ask both of you after this clip, though.
All right.
Studios. So Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. The first project is Creature Commando.
I didn't like that.
The next project up is Waller.
It never happened.
Okay. Next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy.
Crap.
Okay. The next thing is a big
I don't agree with that.
HBO television series called Lanterns.
Whack.
Next is a big movie called The Authority.
It never happened.
We're doing
He deserves this.
It's
This is true criticism. This is true criticism. He deserves this. Let's at least have fun with it,
a television series called Paradise Lost.
It's an urban legend that never happened.
Well, according to RJ, it's on track.
Right.
Hopefully.
Now you've revised. Hopefully.
Introduction of the DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold.
Not this time. It never happened.
Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold.
Not this time.
One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Oh, that was pretty good. Listen, I don't like him. I think he is a chud too, but you got to admit that was good. It was accurate. RJ, you told me to watch this. You can't deny with some of the laughs there.
I mean, it's something you can make fun of, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see the very thing he says at the beginning here.
Product.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. As we approach what looks to be a grim opening box office weekend for Supergirl, I don't think I'm going out on a limb here by saying that the
James Gunn.
DCU has not gotten off to the best of starts. Let's recap, shall we? James Gunn's first public act as the co-CEO of the newly founded DC Studios was to tell Henry Cavill he's not playing Superman anymore. And it was all
Well, that's fine. I don't blame him for that.
downhill from there.
I do blame him for that. He could have. He wanted
He
a
was
clean
really
slate.
blind.
He wanted. Well, he had. You know, the other problem with Gunn is he can't help himself. He had to fight with social media people saying it's not a reboot. Some things have not been decided yet, but it was a reboot. You know.
Well, again, it's because they had 4 movies they had to promote still.
I don't think I am subscribed to Nerd Rock. Maybe I was from back.
I'm not afraid to. I watch Cheeseman. I watch everything. I watch both sides of everything. Okay, I don't agree with everything, but I like to see what the other perspectives.
I don't need to watch that whole thing. It was a good intro. Oh boy. Okay, let's at least watch a little bit of Grace, and then I have one topic to cover before we go.
Oh my God, Grace's review of this movie was
Well, I
fantastic.
had a question before we got to Grace, though.
She looks beautiful, by the way.
Well, that's irrelevant.
You can make this a clip out
creative.
too, by the way, if you wanted to.
What's that?
I had a question, actually, a
Go
very
ahead.
important question.
All right.
So, thinking long term here, just thinking about the future of the genre as a whole, and looking at the past 5-6 years, is there a future for female-led superhero movies in the space anymore?
Yes, it has to be good though. There's more pressure on female projects than male projects, unfortunately.
Because we've
Because
had
the majority of those.
I don't think there
Prey. We've had
No, the
this.
Marvels, all that kind of stuff. No, they're never good. So look, here's the reality.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like it's almost going to be near impossible for them to make a female-led superhero movie for at least quite a while. It's going to be very rare if it ever happens again in the next 5 years.
You have to have a good villain, a good script, and it's fine. You have to have a really good story and a good villain.
So here's the thing. Okay, and again, this isn't me. This is just you can say whatever you want, but superhero, the genre is a boy brand. You need to capture the hearts and minds of young boys first. Young boys want to have their heroes on screen. Okay, they want.
It's about identity politics too. A lot of men consumers struggle watching something that doesn't go along with their identities. I really feel that. You know, as much as the chuds complain about representation stuff, they've been catered to for years, and they are one of the biggest consumer blocks in the mainstream movie tickets. So for them to accept a different identity to follow, it has to be really good. Unfortunately, not for me. Like I like to give everything a chance. I like variety and diversity, you know. So if it's a woman project, a woman-led project, it's no different for me personally. But a lot of people struggle reaching and viewing and accepting things outside their identity and their bubble, which is bullshit, I think. But that's the way it is.
Why is that bullshit, and why is that not human nature?
I think it's a lot of problems with the world is not reaching out. I mean, I guess it's people's choice to only follow things that represent themselves. But I think you're missing out.
Superhero movies. Is it boys or girls?
There's girls in there, but the majority is boys. Yeah, boys, men.
So why wouldn't you cater to the majority of the audience?
I think you should not dismiss the majority of your audience. You should try to bring a new audience too. I do believe that just having one identity focused in the universe is a mistake. I think it doesn't create a great, cool, universe if you're only if the majority of your projects are catering to one type of identity, male identity, you know.
And Cheeseman, if you want to believe that the first 3 Star Wars movies are not outliers because it's just Star Wars, I get it. You know what? Hey, look, let's look.
I mean, look. I didn't interrupt you, Voltaire, but look at the MCU. It thrived at the beginning because it did have some strong female representation, and included in there Scarlet,
she was
Black Widow.
They were
she's what?
They were complementary characters.
Yeah. So I think for a universe to succeed, you have to have both.
Yes, as complementary characters. But RJ's question was, and let's be honest. I mean, I'm not a sexist, no matter what anyone says. I
just think executives are going to be looking at what's been going on.
Oh yeah,
we're not
CEO hats on everybody.
CEOs never learn a lesson. They blame the audience consistently. They're never going to look inward and see the mistakes they made. They are going to do Kathy Kennedy type of logic. Oh, Solo failed, so we shouldn't recast characters. We should do AI and deep fakes for these characters.
I think RJ's point is that the money has been down. And that's what
the executives are gonna the executives aren't gonna want to put the money for these projects for sure. Absolutely. It's gonna be an uphill battle.
Are there outlier characters like Wonder Woman and Ahsoka, let's say? Absolutely. They've earned it, and there's a history of them, and they've been in whatever. But the general thing, no, I don't think that that's the way to go if I was running a studio. That's me personally. You know, you still make these movies. You make these movies with these secondary characters and these females, fit characters, but you have lower expectations for them for sure.
And I will say this at the start of this review: I did not watch this review. It's going to be a blind reaction. Grace, you've never looked more beautiful.
Oh,
if you were Supergirl, I would go see it day one. I love. She's even got the little thumb.
Jennifer Lawrence is here. So okay, Max.
So no, I'm saying stunning. You making a stunning Supergirl, Grace. Please unblock me. Please unblock me.
Yeah, I've tweeted at her. She hasn't listened. So I'm going to tell you, Grace lately has been on fire.
Really? I haven't watched her show in a while.
So
actually,
here's the thing: she criticizes influencers who are getting early access stuff, which is wonderful.
Yes,
she criticizes shill media. She's 100% honest, and her takes are very well thought out. Like Grace,
that was actually the next topic. Yes.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Grace for a while, she's been on fire lately. She's just really hitting it on all cylinders.
Okay. All right, because I the last topic of the night is about the Odyssey and no influencer screenings, and I think it's a great day. I've been calling for this forever. I've got to the point with mainstream media and paid promotion. I cannot take it anymore. I think these people that are so close are just as bad as the chuds really are, because they just want to call people names that have legitimate criticisms. Criticism is not hate, like RJ said earlier in the comment section. So, and they war profiteer on triggering the truds. They are symbiotes. They do not exist without the other. The people that hate watch, Nerdrotic, Geeks Gamers, and all that other stuff, and then all the sites that set these actors and talent up to answer these questions that are no going to get a soundbite are half the problem.
Yeah.
Brian was right. Brian was right all those years ago. You're all contributing to the same bullshit. It's all just, you're all codependent on each other. You're war profiteers on this. All right, so let's see what she has to say here.
Do your thing, girl. But I think Clark should ask for the suit back. Seriously, watching this movie, I was like, Clark, go get that suit back. Don't let her wear it. So why would I say such a thing? Well, more than ever, the 2025 movie, and now this one, established that Superman is someone who not only wants to do good, but wants to be a living example of the good we all can do, and that being good is a choice. And this is something that James Gunn underlined with his movie.
Skip to the section totally butchered on it.
Jor-El wanted his son to...
What's that?
She has her sections. Skip to the totally butchered comic section.
Where's the... Oh, okay.
She has her sections outlined. Trust me.
This is what people are...
This is what RJ...
Oh, I want to see what she says about Gunn comic fan. That's too. Yeah. I think also Gunn is too much of a fanboy.
Well, he alleges he is.
No, he just like when you talk to Crazy Joe, he loves the comics. That's not everything that the pure comic nerds are gonna love is not gonna go well in the mainstream. Not all the time.
To be such a great thing for the franchise was that he was a comic book fan like us. And so he would give it the care and the respect that it deserved. And it was a good sign, we thought, when he plucked this comic out of the lineup and said, we're going to adapt this. He was like, it's one of my favorite comics. I love it so much. I'm going to make Tom King an architect of my DC. In fact, I'm so all in. So then why did he basically chuck such exceptional source material in the trash? I mean, we knew they couldn't afford the visuals, right? When we saw the trailers, we already knew they weren't going to be able to do that. But then why would you butcher the story? Why not just tell a totally original Supergirl story? I mean, we just outlined one about how, she is from Krypton, Clark's from Earth. Let's talk about the contrast there, right? Why not tell a story about a totally different DC character, right? Because as a comic book reader, this does not seem at all like Kara Zor-El.
Pause it, Max.
No matter how good Millie Alcock might.
Yeah.
RJ, does this ring true to you? Are you awake?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. It's kind of what you said earlier, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't disagree with this. No.
Okay.
Be in the role, she is simply not playing Supergirl. Highlighted
I
by
don't
the
agree
fact
with that.
that the character here is interchangeable with Star-Lord, Furiosa, and Captain Marvel, depending where in the movie you are. I would say the first act is Captain Marvel, the second act is Star-Lord, and then the third act is Furiosa, young Furiosa. Although they take the silent scream. I can't believe that they just copy and paste things from like really iconic things from iconic films. Well, not Captain Marvel, but All right, so early on, I knew we had a problem with this movie when Kara decides to urinate with the door open and then pass out on the toilet, all of which we see.
Hang on, did that happen? Was that a problem for you, RJ, that she took a piss as she had the door open?
No, I mean it was meant to illustrate a point. Like this, it's true. It's true grit. She's Rooster Cogburn. I mean that's kind of the point. That's what they were trying to illustrate.
Belle Reeves says it's a generational thing. Gen Z doesn't give a rat's about superheroes. A small group of them does. Might be. There's a lot of generational stuff here. Yeah.
It is universal though.
Huh?
Good movie.
It's universal though.
What?
Animation.
That's true.
Yeah.
Horror.
You know what we don't see?
What?
Horror.
Yeah.
Oh, horror. Yes.
We don't see her wash her hands. I'm just saying.
She doesn't wash her hands after going to the bathroom. My God.
No, if you're on a hangover,
returns, I guess.
I wash my hands all the time.
She does
What?
eat shit in the movie too.
No, literal.
Yeah.
No, she gets beat up. You mean by eat shit?
No, she eats shit.
RJ, get out of here. This
Better not be a bad joke.
No, I'm being dead serious.
Oh my God.
That's such a weird gun thing.
God.
Type of gun. That's why people say like this gun type of superhero movie. It's like, really? So you talk about that?
Why does she eat poop? Okay, whatever.
Well, it's because the alien poops out popcorn and she eats the popcorn. It's like, oh, this tastes like
so
shit.
it's like Luke Skywalker sucking the blue milk out of the tea. Okay.
Yeah.
For a joke.
But it's actual shit though.
Okay.
Popcorn. Well,
their shit is yummy. Got it.
No,
Just saying.
but she says it tastes like shit, and then she gives it to Ruthie. It's like, okay, you can have this. I don't want this. It tastes like shit.
Oh God.
that feels like gun jokes. Oh
Yeah,
my
it really
God.
does sound like gun.
Yeah, I know it's not his movie, but oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He probably was laughing his ass off when he saw that. Oh my God.
I mean, again, there are certainly, I'm sure, some characters who would do such a thing, but it's just not something that someone from the super family would do. And I'm sure
Super family should wash your hands.
somebody who says,
RJ,
well, they did. I think it makes her more interesting. It's not Supergirl. Go adapt something else. It's a different character. Clark is a saint for not giving up on someone who makes no effort, and not just on herself, but in any part of her life, including Crypto, who isn't. It's not that he's an energetic dog, but he's a dog whose owner refuses to train him, which is makes a real disservice to everyone else.
He's a bad dog owner. Holy crap! Grace goes in on Supergirl. She's a bad pet owner. Do you think she's a bad pet owner after seeing Supergirl, RJ?
No, she loves Crypto.
But the dog's untrained.
I mean, yeah.
But to Crypto, because it puts him in danger. I'm not a pet owner. I owned a goldfish, but isn't it irresponsible?
You died. It died, Grace. The goldfish is gone.
Flushed down.
I owned a goldfish once, and that's why I own no more pets.
Not to train your pet. I mean, he just makes him a burden on everyone, and therefore, like, no one's happy to see Crypto in this movie because he just really is. He's just out of control. Now, I wasn't worried about him really ever because he doesn't look like a real dog. Crypto has never looked more like a CGI creation than he does here. Like, it's almost laughable in some shots. Like, you're like, is this an animated movie? And Kara herself has.
RJ, how is the CGI on Crypto?
Is it as good as Superman, or is it sliding a little bit? Budget? You felt the budget constraints?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
There's some shots in this movie that aren't good.
You know that Punisher short film was really good, but that shot everyone's complaining about, it really took me out. I hate bad CGI. When you know what I'm talking about, RJ?
I mean, I was never taken out of the movie though. No, like there's never a point I was taken out of the movie, but there's a couple shots like it's a little CGI, you know, but it wasn't like enough to take me out.
Listen, Jennifer.
We love you, Jennifer Lawrence.
No, we don't.
It's the real Jennifer Lawrence.
You destroyed Mystique after so many appearances. Just go away.
She was great as Mystique.
Stay away from IP films, please. The Hunger Games turned into a disaster because you phoned it in.
Stop it.
Go make some artsy movie with Ryan Johnson, please.
So, but Jennifer Lawrence did ask a legitimate question, Max. On a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want to procreate with Grace?
No. I don't want to get creepy.
Okay.
No, I don't want to have a kids anywhere.
Okay, well there you go. He's answered your question, Jennifer.
But my love of Grace has come back in this. I haven't watched her probably in a year.
She's been on fire. I'm not exaggerating. She's great.
Yeah. All right.
The same issue as in her biggest action scenes, of which there are few, which is a real shame. She doesn't seem real either. She gets gumbified. Like there's this one thing, like her big action moment at the end of the movie when she's supposed to like go all out, and you can't even get invested in it because you're like, that's real. That is just fully CGI. It's like when she gets powered up by the yellow sun, it gives her the power of bad CGI. And not every movie and show about a female character needs to also double as a feminist manifesto. I mean,
what? You don't even hear this from Gary. Feminist manifesto.
Grace is a chud.
I don't see where. I don't get where this. I mean,
well, let's hear her out, right?
Yeah.
Just save the day. I mean, I'm all fine. I'm fine with messaging, and I'm okay with movies. I think Barbie balanced things very nicely. But again, this is a non-spoiler review. But just to give you a little bit of an example, they shoehorned a subplot in here about trafficking underage girls.
That's woke.
well, okay, so I mean, minor spoilers. I'll talk about this. They bring up in the movie that Krem and the Brigands are an all-male race, and the only way that they can repopulate is if they kidnap young women to enslave them as sex slaves.
Good God!
They bringing them to an island?
So they copied what's like basically the Handmaid's Tale type of thing.
Well, they copied They call them the brides.
Yeah, Mad Max.
Yeah, okay, Mad Max. All right.
Wow. Okay. All right. I think
underage teenage girls and like they're like
no, Max, you got to hear this.
And they're like obsessed. Like they're
right.
like they actually want Ruthie to be part of it. Yeah.
Only is not from the original comic, but that's lifted directly out of Mad Max, like directly. Like, how did you think you could do that? And it doesn't do the movie any favors. It just makes it too heavy-handed, too eye roll. Like. And also, it reminded me a little bit of Black Widow to a degree as well. I'm going to mention it later, but Millie Alcock was like, I didn't watch any female superhero movies to prepare for this. And you're like, maybe if you had, you would have noticed you were copying quite a few of them.
Oh, eat. Yeah. Millie does kind of put her foot in her mouth a little bit there. Like, I didn't really watch anything else. Well, your movie's kind of mediocre. Maybe you should have.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an actor's job to watch other movies.
No, but when you're so boisterous and confident about certain, you got to back it up. You got to back up your shit.
Again, she could have phrased. Look, I don't care if they say I didn't watch other versions because I wanted to bring my own thing. she could have phrased it differently. Like, I
She's
respect
snarky.
all those actresses and what
Yes.
they did, but I wanted to not be influenced by other people.
Yeah,
And kind of have a
she's
fresh
got
take
some
on it.
snark.
There's a way to say it, you know.
Again, won't stop me from seeing the movie, but it can impact some consumers.
And then somehow, even on a red sun planet, Kara can somehow take on male opponents triple her size or more through force. I would understand it if she could do it through wits or skill, but the fact that she's still supposed to be able to overpower these individuals just makes absolutely no sense. Forget when.
I don't agree with that. If she gets power from the sun and they don't,
No, red sun takes away.
Okay.
Power.
Yeah,
And
she has no powers. Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
what
she's
saying.
beating up.
Oh, okay. That is a problem then.
Right.
All right.
The fight, like in her first big fight in the bar, I thought she'd be dead, but she won. As for when she finally does power up, which takes too long.
Okay, skip this
well,
part,
to
Max.
fully
Go to the section called writing.
I was gonna say super derivative.
Okay, go to super derivative. If RJ has seen the movie, this is interesting to him.
Had striking similarities to Guardians of the Galaxy from the trailers. And I think some of us could sense it would be a little bit like the Marvels. But then with early reactions, like from the junket and with influencers, we started to see some Mad Max references. And I thought that was like in a good way. Not that it was directly copying and pasting from that movie. Supergirl isn't an homage to these movies, as I said, but at points it feels like you're actually watching watered down versions of them. Like if Supergirl was running Billy Crystal through these movies, it would feel like this, you know, the way he used to do. And Conan did an homage to that at the beginning of the Oscars this previous year. It's such a copy that I'm shocked that when they were making this movie, nobody raised their hand and said, you know, guys, we can't just blatantly copy these other movies.
Pause,
And I
RJ.
think
What do you
Kevin
think
Feige and
about
George Miller at least should be offended. And
I don't think they're direct copies.
But are they?
Do
Do
you
you get a
notice
sense of Furiosa and these other movies?
I mean, if you want to be an asshole, I mean, yeah.
You're calling Grace an asshole.
Oh, RJ, don't attack female creators on this show.
I mean, it's tough because again, I mean, you could argue you've seen stuff like this before, but it's also like hard to, or it's hard to unique some of this stuff a little bit. Plus, some of it does come from the comic, and this is stuff they've already that the comic did first too. So it's like I don't know. I mean, if the comic itself takes inspiration from this stuff, you know.
All right, let's skip to the writing now because I want to end this show soon. Okay.
now, how about new screenwriter Ana Nogueira?
There's been a lot of gross accusations, including from a certain comic pro, that there's somehow she got this job and it wasn't her. I saw that on X. How did she get hired for 3 movies based on this script? That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with that.
Just like Clark should take back his suit, I think we should take the Wonder Woman script away from Nogueira. I'd be like, oh, can I just have that for a second, please? Thank you. I mean, I'm really nervous. Not only with all the heavy-handed feminism that's been added to this movie, and oh my goodness, if you do that with Supergirl, what is she going to do with Wonder Woman? My God. I mean, it's feminist. Wonder Woman is a feminist quality to it organically. But if you're going to go and layer it on like this really thick, it's going to make the movie unwatchable. I'm really scared. But even more damning is the fact that she was given.
Grace is scared of a feminist writer. Listen, you did. I would listen. I am ready to prop Nogueira up. I want her to succeed. But if the movie is this mid, like I even think they could go more progressive with Wonder Woman, but it has to be a good writer. You know?
And I mean, I don't know is it true that this is the first writing job she's really had other than a short?
She wrote one short film. This is her first feature film.
Yeah, that's like Charmaine Obaid. You can't just give these people, you know, go get Patty Jenkins.
Good God, James Gunn. I gave you more credit than you are just another Kathy. Well, you're more creative than Kathy, but good God.
I'll say that. Yeah, he's got more talent than that. Yeah.
I want RJ, please. I hope it doesn't. I would love a feminist writer to do really good material and actually put more social commentary in these projects to make them more special. But if you have a mediocre, really average movie with bad writing, And the only thing that's substantive is the social commentary. It's just like,
so here's the thing. If I wanted to do a movie with a female role, a female-led character, and I wanted a female writer, do you know who I would call? I would contact the lady who did Promising Young Woman and did what's that other Cut Burn or whatever the movie from a couple of years ago. That lady is super feminist and super talented. She's an excellent writer. Why are you getting people whose history is only whatchamacallit, a short film, you know? Or get the what's her name, the one who did what's that movie with Harry Styles and the girl who was yeah, you know, whatever. There's other women writers out there. You don't have to get these people with no experience, is my point.
This is where I have a hard time believing James Gunn when he says, I wasn't going to do Supergirl, but the script was just so good we had to fast track it. That's
Olivia Wilde. Sorry, Max. Olivia Wilde. Go get somebody like that who has a track record as a woman who's
I would go get a really veteran director writer like in the industry, like what James Cameron she did the Hurt Locker. What's her name? Catherine Bigelow or something.
Catherine Bigelow.
Oh my God, I would search out someone like her.
There's lots of them out there. You know, I mean, come on, for God's sake. But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh man, this is hurting. This is hurt. It's like the same thing over and over again.
Top-notch source material to adapt, where all she really had to do was put it into screenplay format. And yet somehow, as Hollywood does when they do things poorly, felt she had to make it her own. You don't have to make it your own. It's great. Just adapt it. Take your flowers and go on to the next project.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only a stupid creative decision, but it's a stupid business decision. I cannot think, in fact, of a worse adaptation. Maybe Birds of Prey, but I think not so, because Birds of Prey didn't adapt a specific story. But it is that bad in terms of the
Birds of Prey was
adaptation.
terrible.
Oh my God.
Wow. I like Birds of Prey.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I didn't like the ending. Oh, boy. Larry Kwarkowitz, the drum slinger. Larry, you coming to visit me? Everyone asks in Tape Hunters, your Tape Hunters needs more Larry. He might be coming to go see Stabbing Westward with me.
That's great.
It's a small show. They have
that's a fun show.
A couple other industrial bands.
It's not like you're going to see Metallica, but you're going to go see like a cool little band in a small whatever.
I've seen them once before. It was fun.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
You know, and again, some people will defend it who aren't familiar with the source material. But if you're at all familiar with the source material, you're like, what are you doing, man? I mean, she was handed such amazing stuff.
Look at that comic book cover. Did you get any feeling watching the movie like of this the comic book cover?
I didn't read the comic, so I can't speak to it.
No, I'm talking about RJ. Like that cover is so iconic.
No, not one.
There's nothing in it like that. Get that feeling.
I mean, it's got the bare bones and like it's got some of the same characters, but no.
I don't get that. Why don't you stick like why don't you look at from Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings? Stick to the freaking source material and quit being a jerk off.
No, the creatives, this is an issue with creatives. They all want a blank canvas or they want to make it their own.
Make their mark on it.
Look at Ryan Johnson. He's very creative. He's a smart guy. He's got a Ryan Johnson all over the place. He can't help himself. Just like James Gunn. You know, they just can't work off. They have to do it their own. That's why Ryan Johnson's best material, I think, is the opposite of Zack Snyder. I think he does better originals work than IP work.
Yeah. He's a good director. He's excellent.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to this final topic here, which I am just when I see how much YouTube is paid promotion and how much people are under the influence of these big corporations and talking points in mainstream media and how volatile this next election cycle is going to be, the midterms. I am so over influencers. Before I started being a YouTuber, I didn't think people were this dumb. I didn't think people could be this influenced by influencers. They absolutely are. People are under the influence of this BS. I do not think that the social media influencers, the reactions and stuff, is adding anything substantive to the process of movie going. I would actually like 0 screenings for all movies, and just I think we're in the era of the consumer decide if it's going to float or not, if it's good or not. I think they've lost. There's just 2 camps: the haters that access the hate, and discrepancies of fans and consumers, or the one that they shill towards that narrative and everything shit, or the ones that are just so coping and want any little crumb from these corporations and access. I think they're both bad. I don't think it's adding anything. I'm so happy that the Odyssey isn't getting it. I would love everyone to just go on this fresh. Everyone see it at the same time. And maybe also a burgeoning movie reviewer that doesn't have access will get some shine. Just giving an honest review without all the pressures that come with, I got to get my early access and all this other stuff up. I'm sick of it. Me personally, I love this. I love this trend. I really appreciate Christopher Nolan, what he's done for cinema. I think if you really talk about movies, you're ultimately in 2026, you're still talking about Christopher Nolan. You know, so I am all on board on no screenings. What do you think? Who wants to go first, RJ or Voltaire? I want this to be a template for the future. Just let a movie sink or swim based on its quality.
What I think is funny is just how quickly this fell apart, because the whole reason the influencer, and for those that don't know, they say influencer, they mean like the social media TikToker crowd, the ones who make YouTube shorts, that kind of stuff.
I include the reviewers, the John Campias and stuff. Yeah, he never goes too hard. He never goes too. He doesn't go too hard on movies.
I think there's a difference between an influencer and a critic.
He's still
there is a difference.
I think it's a personality and influencer, not an actual critic.
An influencer is someone who is literally just there for marketing, trying to get you to see a movie. You know, they're trying to get you to buy a product or go see a movie. What I find so fascinating is how quickly this all fell apart, because the influencer screenings really became more prominent this year, with stuff like Devil Wears Prada 2, Disclosure Day. Mando and Grogu was horrendous with the influencer stuff. I mean, the whole Disneyland campaign with Pedro Pascal was so bad it blew up in their face.
Pathetic.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, I know the article from Joe Blow was talking about Supergirl. I don't know if you guys saw this. They invited some influencers to go see Supergirl. One of them posted a selfie of them with the swag bag from Warner Brothers with the tweet saying that the movie was horrible.
Oh, really?
And,
no, I didn't see
yeah, and like you have the trades talking about like this is not good. When the people, the influencers that are meant to hype up your movie are like posting stuff like this.
Well, at least they're being honest.
Yeah. So I think that Universal, who's distributing this movie, kind of saw the writing on the wall. Like the influencer screenings have been hurting movies versus helping them. So there's really no reason to do influencer screenings at all. Just do the traditional critics only.
I don't think critics either. I think everyone should see it at the same time.
People have to review the movie, Max.
They'll see it the first day.
You want the traditional press to build up into. If you made a good movie,
I think you get around some of this bullshit. You know, you're still going to have the reviews the first weekend.
Yeah, but you want the reviews out before.
I think it's doesn't add anything. It's more likely to get spoilers out there, and a lot of people's objectivity is too compromised by access. Even the John Campa, he said, "Oh, Supergirl's one of the movies." He still only goes so hard on a movie. He still shills for access. He complained when he didn't get it. So does
RJ's point is that normies still value the opinions of critics. I agree with you. I don't trust critics at all, but normies do.
I think you're still going to get them out day one. You think John Campia, if he doesn't get access, he's still not going to see it day one and get his review out the same day?
Yeah.
I say get rid of all this. Like, then you have the social media embargo where you can only do certain things. It's all bullshit.
The studio, Max, if you give these critics, no, it's a scam. If you give these critics an early critic screening, it makes them feel special. It makes them less likely to produce a harsh review. You know what I mean?
I think the reviews are going to be more objective and authentic too if you take away all the access.
Correct, 100%.
It's going to help.
Why would the studios do that? Why would they do that when what you say is true, Max? Why would they take it away from them?
Weigh costs and benefits. I don't think it's as beneficial as it used to be.
That's probably true.
So I think just let it sink or swim based on the, especially sometimes you get the people watch the review and don't watch the movie. That's the other benefit of just cutting it off. People get the talking points. They have the spoiler reviews. The people that have access, including Grace, have the spoilers reviews up day one. Some people watch the spoiler reviews as their entertainment and are like, oh, that would have sucked. Glad I saved my money.
And yes. In this day of YouTube and Twitter, like critic reviews are less important because people put their reviews up right away. You know what I mean?
If I was not wanting to support DC and Supergirl, I would just watch the Grace spoiler review and wait till it came out on streaming, because that's how bad I think mediocre this movie is. I think so. Based on what I'm hearing,
first, but yeah,
no, because I want to support it. I want Supergirl to be a property that gets another movie. I want Supergirl too. I want to succeed.
Not want to go see it this weekend. I'm not going to lie.
But
honestly, I think you should go. I think people I liked the movie. Well,
yeah, but I would if I was just a normie.
Let me clarify.
And I wasn't a YouTuber.
Movie, I was just more so disappointed by it.
If I was just a normie and I was going to pay my ticket and I wasn't doing YouTube or felt that I wanted to support this movie, I would probably watch a spoiler review if I heard it was this bad. I don't do that for all movies, but I'm like, oh, this sounds like it's kind of I'll do the spoiler review and then I'll eventually watch it when it's accessible. And I think that's a factor too. That's another reason to get rid of influencers.
It's interesting.
All right. I think we should call it. We're over 2 hours. What do you think, guys?
I think that's good.
Let's go for another 2.
Nah, I got my niece is graduating her party for high school tomorrow. So I have to go get her a present.
Oh, that's a big deal.
I have to go pick up the food. I have to go pick up my cousin.
What are you catering the lunch with?
Oh, I don't know. My mom told me to pick it up.
Are you going to do it Donald Trump style and get McDonald's?
No, she got a grocery store catering something.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So
it's a big deal for the young lady.
Yeah, I'm proud of her. So you're unsure now if you're going to see Supergirl, Voltaire, after this.
I got to tell you, RJ, because I trust RJ's reviews and I kind of know where RJ's slants are in the DC universe right now. And for him to say it's mid and then Grace, it's just like, I don't know. I was planning to go, but it's like, I'll still go. But if I kind of don't feel like it, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to lie to you. But I was planning to go, so I probably will. But let's say
I don't know when I'm gonna. I know I wanted to see it. I'm not gonna see it this weekend. It's probably gonna be next week before I see it.
I'll see it tomorrow, but
maybe next weekend.
It's gonna get murdered at the box office this weekend.
It'll need my help next. I don't need my help second weekend. Box
Toy Story 5 is going to beat it this weekend, right?
Well, it's gonna more than double it.
Yeah, and next weekend it's Minions, right?
I way more want to see Supergirl than Toy Story 5. I'm
really
Toy Story 5 is genuinely great though.
Yeah,
everybody I don't care anymore. Really I will see. I'm glad it exists for people that love the franchise, but
why do you hate children?
Why are you doing that stuff? I'm glad they have the option. It doesn't need my money. It's making money.
Oh wow.
I'll see it eventually. I have I want superheroes to stay on top. Unfortunately, it's not happening.
Sorry, animation is in.
Okay. RJ's cutting out. All right, let's call it, Max.
Okay. So thanks for watching, and Voltaire, if you'll take us out.
Everybody, we appreciate you being here tonight. We love it. And I just want to say to everybody, good night and good luck.